Well, welcome to Extra Point, and today we have Montana Western Defensive Coordinator Riley Martello. And you'll have to excuse me, folks, if sometime during the interview I just say Tello. That's what I've known Riley as from his days as a student athlete and a player up until now. But it is Riley Martello. He's the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs. We also have another former Beaver who is now a Bulldog. We have Tyler Walker. He'll be joining us later on in the program. And our program today brought to you by 82 Coffee Company, Susan McRae Accounting, and by Dream Motors. Riley, welcome to Extra Point.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you. One thing that I know is you're a Bozeman native. You came here as a freshman, played football, had the misfortune of getting hurt, but you also had an extra year that you got to come back and play.
Sure did, yeah.
And you had a good career. You were one of those linebacker U players at Montana Western. It seems like we've had one superstar class of linebackers, and you were one of those. But we know you played here. We know you graduated from here. So once you got your diploma, you kind of went out into the coaching world for a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I was fortunate enough just to hop right on the staff here with Coach Norris. So first year got done playing and started coaching the defensive line here for Coach Norris and Coach Good. And after my first year, got a call from the guys in purple and went and joined them during a COVID year. So it's like it never really even happened because we didn't have a season. But it was a lot of learning. It was good to get out of Dillon for a little bit and attack the world in the coaching realm. Then got an opportunity to go coach in Dubuque, Iowa at a Division III school. That was the first full-time job, and coached defensive line over there at a D3, and that was a great learning experience, to get out of Montana and my wife and I to go learn and do things on our own. And then got a call to join Montana State as an analyst, so that was kind of a dream job. It was a big jump. I was only there for, 2 months, not even, and got the call to come back to Western and be the defensive coordinator, which was, I jumped all over, man. This is pretty cool. It's been a quick turnaround, but there's no other place I'd rather be right now.
Well, I'm guessing that if I ask you exactly how long it took you to make that decision, it would probably be a single-second decision, basically?
Yeah, there wasn't much thought to go into this one. This is a job that I wanted as a player. I didn't think it would come as quickly as it did, and man, I'm just super fortunate and blessed that Coach Norris called me, and I was all over it.
Well, and your wife, former Bulldog student athlete, she played basketball for Wally. Yep. Taylor Howlett was her maiden name, and now it's Taylor Martello. So, and you've got a new little Bulldog in the family too.
Yep, little Charlie. Yep.
So, okay, well, let's move on. Let's move on to football. Your defense had one of those dream games, I guess, as a defensive coordinator against MSU Northern, a shutout. You pitched a shutout, which is always nice. But the stat that stood out with me was you set a new school record for fewest rushing yards allowed, minus 37. Those are pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah.
Normally a minus number is not impressive, but this one is.
Yeah, for the defensive side of the ball, yeah. It was just a good day for the defense, just to, come together. All three phases of the defense showed up, and there really wasn't much to it, man. It was just guys playing their butts off and, playing for each other. And, especially on the Vigilante field, it's, that's where you want to do it. And, cold conditions and sloppy conditions, that's a defensive player's dream, man, to go out there and just play ball, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, and we talk about the field conditions. Dillon got hit, and southwestern Montana got hit with a monster snowstorm last week. I'm thinking I've heard anywhere from 7 to 8 inches or maybe more. And that's on Vigilante Field, and I know you guys, because I talked to Coach Norris, you guys are out there almost when the last flake was maybe falling, you were out there already cleaning the field. What kind of endeavor does that take to clean a field and get it ready to play for a football game?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's it just goes to show what the Dillon community is to our program and just to athletics in general in Dillon. They help us all the time when we have to get our fields plowed and shoot. We had to get our practice field plowed the other day too, and it's just the support from our community that helps us get that done. But obviously scheduling and preparing there's a process to it, that we have to go through, but it just goes out to the Dillon community.
Okay. One special honor that came from that game, special teams player of the week, Eli Norse. We've joked with Ryan that Eli has lots of speed, a lot more faster than his dad ever was, and Ryan doesn't argue with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, to get a touchdown off a punt return, that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't, and that's man. We've been harping it all year. It hasn't happened since 2012, actually. At Montana Western. So I remind the guys on a weekly basis. This is the game. This is the year. We changed that, and Eli's just a special player with special talent, and you get the ball in his hands, and you get 10 other guys doing their job and blocking their tails off for Eli. It's pretty cool things happen.
Well, and now you've got a monster game. I know coaches say all games are big. You forget the one that just got played, and you don't think about the one you're going to play. It's the one that week that you count on. But this has big ramifications all across the board. Carroll, number 12, Western, number 13 in the nation. Locking horns, as use another sports cliche, on the field of Nelson Stadium in Helena. That's got to be something to look forward to. A couple of good football teams playing.
Yeah. I mean, super special. This is why you play, and our players have put themselves in a position to play for something more. And that's all credit to them. They worked their tails off, and it's pretty cool that they've given themselves the opportunity to play for a conference championship or a shot at the playoffs or. It's pretty cool.
What kind of offense is your boys going to look at? Your defensive guys, what are they looking at? Is Carroll a balanced attack? I mean, seems like they've got good running backs. They've got a good passing attack, a nice balance. Which sometimes that's a little harder to prepare for, isn't it? When they're that even?
Yeah, definitely, a balanced team, but I tell you what they just do a really good job of is taking care of the ball and controlling the clock and playing disciplined football. That's really what they're all about, and it complements their defense because their defense creates takeaways and they control the ball, so that's going to be a huge thing for our defense is just to be as disciplined as possible and try to create takeaways, and ultimately, all we've been saying all week is, we got to be the more physical football team, and that's what we pride ourselves on is being a tough physical defense that loves to play football.
And then maybe a little added incentive for you and Troy, considering he was your high school coach.
He sure was. Yeah. It'll be pretty fun. He got me the first time, so I'm excited to. Get after them again on Saturday, but I respect their coaches. They're all great guys. Obviously, being there with a couple of them and growing up with Coach Purcell, it's nothing but respect for those guys. But Saturday, it's game day. Okay,
kickoff 1:30 from Nelson Stadium in Helena. I'm sure there's going to be a large contingent of folks wearing red, white, and black, driving Interstate 90 over to or 80, I guess, over to Helena. So Riley, good luck to you and your defense. Thanks for being our guest on Extra Point.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me, Wally.
And we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Tyler Walker on Extra Point. to Extra Point and in the studio now, number 98, but as your mom probably would say, number 1 in her heart, Tyler Walker, redshirt junior. Now, D-line, do you go both places? Do you go D-end, D-tackle, or are you basically a defensive end?
Well, I've rotated quite a bit. They've changed me up a couple times this year, but recently I've been playing nose. So,
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm sticking at for now.
Well, the nice thing about it is you've got a very talented group of defensive linemen.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 4 or 5 guys that have to carry the weight for the entire game. You guys can kind of rotate, and that's got to make it easier on you guys because you're fresh most of the time.
Yeah.
And this last weekend, you guys had a great game. I found a stat that Lindsay, the SID at Western, told me you had 11 different players record a sack or a tackle for loss. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's great to have the players that we have and the teammates that we have, and we're just kind of a family-based team. So I mean, it's all playing for each other and having each other's backs, and that's the nice part. And like you said, we have a lot of people who can rotate. So if we can keep them all fresh, you know what I mean.
Well, you're one of 4 players on the Bulldog roster that started your football pedigree right here in Dillon, playing for the Beavers. And I guess it probably started even before then. You probably played Dillon Football League too.
Oh yeah, a little Cougar football down at the middle school here.
Yep. So what was your transition like? What was the transition like for you personally going from high school to college? Because there is a big transition.
Yeah. Well, the speed is it's a little bit faster than high school for sure. But the coaches for the Beavers are hard workers, and that's one of the things that they do demand is hard work. So I feel like they say Beavs make the best dogs, and I mean I think it's because of the work ethic that they install on you from kind of a young age.
So I hadn't heard that one before. That could be on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that could be on a T-shirt. So when you were on the Beavers, did you go offensive line and defensive line?
I was offensive line and middle linebacker.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now you get to do most of the hitting.
Yep.
So do you favor being on the defensive side of the ball versus the offensive side?
I would say yeah, I do.
So yeah, and you had a pretty good game too. Is against Northern. We talked about the 11 different players that recorded tackles for loss. You had 3 all by yourself.
Well, I'm gonna give my credit to the rest of my teammates. And the coaches. We had some stunts set up that helped it all flow nicely. But yeah, we have great coaches, and they're scheming all the time, and coming up with the best looks for us. And then the teammates, I can't really say enough about those guys. They're family to me, and they're just really good, smart players. So
well, and you throw in your 2 quarterback sacks, and you also throw in the fact that your defensive line, those brothers you were talking about, set a new school record for giving up yardage. And normally you'd think, well, we gave up 10 yards, we gave up 20 yards, but the number that you gave up had a minus in front of it, minus 37.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. Just the fact, and I guess you're probably going to repeat yourself because I'm going to say that's pretty impressive, and you're going to tell me, well, there's a reason why our coaches and that group of guys that I play with.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That's what I can draw it up to. I'm not gonna, that's all I can really say is it's the coaches, the teammates we have, and especially the community too. We have a really tight knit community, which is nice. It's sometimes you forget, and then you're walking down the street, and some of the community sees you got the Bulldog sweatshirt on and yelling out the window, "Go get him this weekend," or whatever it might be. It's pretty special to see how much the team means to everybody.
Well, your Beavers tomorrow night will be playing a second round game against Taver.
Yep.
I'm sure you're going to be down there. Do you sit in the stands or do you walk around that fence that goes around the field?
I usually walk around the fence, get a little closer.
So,
But,
and there's possibility too. Beavers win Friday night. We could have a Beaver Bulldog doubleheader
that would be
next
super
Saturday.
cool. Yeah.
So now the weather right. Tell me about playing on that nasty field. Although Coach Martello said it's a defensive lineman's dream.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say so. When it gets slippery like that, like it's harder to throw the ball, and it gives the D line especially more time to get the pass rushes going and get some sacks. But also, it's just it's fun because, I mean, they're just running the ball more often. You get to just play downhill, play with some speed, stop thinking, and just go to work.
And then big game in Helena Saturday afternoon against Carroll College. Just your thoughts going into that game.
They're a good team, and their rankings prove that. And it's going to be a war. They're a good team. They got a good O-line, good offense, and it's going to be a battle. But I think I'm going to take the Dogs on that one.
Okay, okay. Well, Tyler, I want to thank you once again for stopping in and visiting with us. You said you were nervous before you went on. You did just fine. You did just fine. You just did fine. And good luck to the Beavers tomorrow night, and good luck to you guys Saturday afternoon.
Appreciate it.
And that's going to do it for Extra Point, our program today brought to you by the 82 Coffee Company, Susan McRae Accounting, and Dream Motors. We'll see you next time on Extra Point.